Hello, Animal Crossing friends. This is Mika today with another Animal Crossing New Horizons video. I've got something special in store today, so we're going to start off in my version of a dream suite. And I'm going to take you guys on a tour of my Southern Hemisphere island. I may have talked about it a little bit before. My Southern Hemisphere island is called Serenity, and I guess today's video is gonna be dreams of serenity. Um, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of looks at Serenity today. They're gonna be a little different. This first dream sequence is going to be how Serenity looked in the wintertime. When I started playing the Southern Hemisphere island, it was still winter. And then we've got the update that added Luna and the Dream Suite. And I said, okay, I've simply got to get a version of Serenity out there in the winter time because it was absolutely beautiful in winter. I'm still very early on in me building up the island. Lots and lots of snow on the ground, lots of empty space. But much like Riverdale, my northern hemisphere island, there's lots of flowers. I do love a lot of flowers. But I definitely wanted to get a version of Serenity up and into the Dream Suite realm while there was still lots of snow on the ground. I love how I have the resident services positioned, not exactly lined up perfectly with the airport, but it's close enough, I think. And these are my villagers. The dream address is right there below. I didn't have too many unusual villagers in the wintertime. Audi was kind of my standout villager at the time, and I believe Marina was with me as well. I always love dropping by Phoebe's. Phoebe actually reminds me of an aunt that I have in real life, so I absolutely love Phoebe. But we're just going to do just a quick roam around on Serenity just so you can kind of see what the island looked like in the wintertime. Lots of snow on the trees, lots of snow on the ground, lots of snow on the roofs. And it was really interesting because as you're walking around in the snow, you're hearing the crunch, crunch, crunch under your feet as you're walking around in the snow. Oh, I always drop in on Audi as well. Audi is one of my favorites. And the interesting thing about the villagers when you're visiting them in a dream, they always kind of make subtle references to dreaming or sleeping. It's actually kind of funny. I tend to visit Serenity when I'm not in a dream sequence. I actually had a video, one of my past videos, where I flew, my little Animal Crossing character flew from Riverdale to Serenity to visit Audie for her birthday. So both of my characters on both of my islands interact with each other's villagers on a regular basis. So as I'm roaming around on Serenity, even though it's a dream, there are going to be a couple of villagers here that recognize my character because I do visit it often. Just so that I can see if I can get all of these characters to be familiar with both the Northern Hemisphere me familiar with my Southern Hemisphere villagers and my Southern Hemisphere me familiar with my Northern Hemisphere villagers. There I am all warm and decked out for the winter. It's kind of weird looking at myself there. But I had lots of bonfires going when I first started the island. Of course, you know you have absolutely nothing when you first start out on your island. And one of the big things I did, just because for some strange reason I figured everyone would be cold, I set up a lot of bonfires all over the island. And it was so cute because many of them would just kind of hover around the bonfires to keep warm while we were all still living in tents. And so I was like, okay, yeah, gotta make sure we've got lots of bonfires, lots of campfires, gotta make sure everybody's nice and warm. I really like the layout for this island. Um, there's a area in the center that I figured was absolutely perfect for either the Able sisters or for my Nook's Cranny. And I ended up putting my Nook's Cranny right there. And we'll be going by there a little bit later so you can see this just kind of little giant shopping area where my Nook's Cranny is. My little small fishing lake. I put my house up on a hill, kind of up above everyone else. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with that area. I was not at the point where I was wanting to terraform it and get rid of it. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to put my house up here, and then if I decide to do something else, I'll just move my house. All right, so this is very early on in my 5-star point with this island. I only had 4 lilies of the valley at the time, and I had them up in that little garden area. Had this great way to get to my secret beach, so my secret beach isn't quite so secret anymore. My little mini orchard with my fruit trees and a suspiciously interesting money bag tree there. The glowing spot was right there one day, and I planted my money bags there, and I just never chopped the tree down. I figured, okay, he's fitting in quite well with all the fruit trees, so I'll just leave it. And this is my museum. Love the fact that I have my fossil exhibits outside. I do have a T-Rex and a mammoth on the inside of my museum. Both of my fossil exhibits on both of my islands are complete. That's one thing I've always loved doing whenever I play Animal Crossing. I'm a big fossil digger. Here's my little shopping area where my Nook's Cranny is. And there's Apollo. See, Apollo recognizes me. When I visit during my gameplay, I always swing by Apollo. But Apollo didn't stick around for much longer after this one. By the time spring rolled around on Serenity, Apollo had gone, and I had some really nice replacements for Apollo. So I'll save that, and I won't spoil that on who came in. Louie as well. There's Louie. Louie was with me for the winter, but he left shortly after Apollo did. And I've got some really great replacements for those two once spring rolled around. So again, I won't spoil that. I'll say that as a surprise. All right, so here's my shopping area for the Able sisters. I've got my loom and some sewing and pants press there in the back for them. I love picnic areas and sitting areas. So I've got this area here, right here on the coast. You can relax and have a picnic on the beach. I don't have a whole lot going on my beaches. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize I had so many weeds. I really should have checked for weeds before I uploaded this stream. But yeah, here's my Able sisters. Quick bridge and the path to my resident services center. Another sitting area, picnic area on the beach. I don't live near the water, so I always said that if I lived near the water, I would always want to be able to picnic and relax and enjoy a meal on the beach. That's probably why I have so many picnic areas on my coastline. Here's my other relaxing area. I actually consider this part of Tia's front yard. That is Tia's house. That is the villager that lives right there in that particular area. So I kind of picture that as part of her front yard. For my female villagers, their yards are a little more fleshed out than my guy villagers. I know that's bad. I should probably flesh out my guy villager houses, but I really took the time to kind of flesh out the areas in the yards for a lot of my girl villagers. So I'll have to learn to treat my guys a little bit better. Now, during the winter months, I hadn't quite figured out what I wanted to do with this area, so it's kind of empty. But I did find some interesting things to put in that area in the spring. Okay, so now we're going to see my house. So, of course, lots of flowers and flower gardens in front of my house. So we're just going to go into my house and have a quick tour of the inside of my Southern Hemisphere house. My Southern Hemisphere house is very different from my Northern Hemisphere house. Not quite as elaborate as my Northern Hemisphere house, but it's still kind of quaint and simple. I do have some things in this house that aren't in my Northern Hemisphere house, like the Lucky Cat and a lot of the toys like the baby bear and the dolly. Those are not in the Northern Hemisphere house. I am going to run upstairs very quickly. This is kind of the pride and joy of my Southern Hemisphere house, and this is the birthday room. I love celebrating villager birthdays, and I love celebrating my birthday in Animal Crossing. Everything in this room is a combination of things and items from the wedding event, balloons from the fireworks festival, but the wallpaper, the table setting in the middle, the flooring, a lot of that are gifts that I got from the villagers on my birthday. So if you have not celebrated your birthday yet, you definitely want to celebrate your birthday with your villagers. It is a day you will never forget. It was one of my most fun days playing Animal Crossing, was celebrating my birthday with my villagers. I do love a good decked out kitchen. This is not oh my goodness, excuse me. This is not my dream kitchen. My dream kitchen is actually on my Northern Hemisphere island, but this one's close enough. I absolutely love that ironwood set, and so I wanted to model this kitchen as closely as I could after my Northern Hemisphere kitchen, but that one looks really, really beautiful. I might have to do a tour of my Northern Hemisphere house. Same with the bathroom. The dream bathroom is on the Northern Hemisphere house as well, but I love this one as well. This one's a little more practical. I love the blue tile and the bamboo shelves there. It's also in a different part of the house. Running through the living room. I did not know what to do with this room, so it kind of became a walk-in closet with a bed, basically. I have a lot of different clothes hanging on the walls. My cupboards are in here, my mirror, whenever I want to change my hair or change clothes. This is typically where I come. And it's just a giant walk-in closet. When I need some place to put clothes, that ends up being where I put them. Downstairs is my Mermaid Suite. I have a mermaid suite in both houses. Um, Again, hanging out with Pascal, lots of swimming, lots of diving, and lots of pearl hunting. I was able to build out the mermaid set here on my southern hemisphere island. So I have a mermaid room down here. And because my zodiac sign is Cancer, I had to, of course, craft the Cancer table. Ta-da! And that's my house. My humble southern hemisphere house. All right, so we're going to go back upstairs, get back up to Luna. I'm wondering, why is there a money glow spot there in front of the house? I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm fairly certain when I uploaded this dream, that glow spot was not there at my front door. So that's an interesting game glitch. There's more of my flower garden. I got so many balloons from Red's raffle during the fireworks festival event. I didn't know what to do with them. So yeah, there were balloons everywhere. So now we're back with Luna. We're gonna doze off, and when we wake up, we will be able to take a look at Serenity in the springtime. And I was able to make some great updates to Serenity in time for spring. So everything is kind of green or greening and lush, and here come the butterflies. And we're going to take another look at the map and see our new updates. The big updates being I now have Anka and Raymond have moved in to Serenity. So they are now on my southern hemisphere island. They've moved into Louie and Apollo's spot. I actually was villager hunting and not expecting to run across Raymond. And poof, there he was, and just had to jump on it. Louie actually moved out unexpectedly, and I did not get a chance to go villager hunting. So when the game moved the villager in, it just happened to be Anka. So I was very happy about that one. I was like, okay, I lost him, but I'm okay with who's moving in. So we'll do a quick visit to Anka and Raymond. I was really happy to have them be a part of my island here. Raymond's really cute, and I'm a cat person in real life anyway, so I am perfectly fine with having two cats on my island. So we'll do our quick visits here. Bye, Raymond. And just a quick look at Serenity in the spring. It's really pretty. All of the flowers kind of pop a little bit more. I mean, not that they didn't pop against the snow, but they really kind of look more beautiful now that everything's greening up. There's Chev just hanging out at the campground. This is going to be great for fishing once the fish really start coming in this little area here. And then I've got my little kind of picnic area up here. As you see, I've got more lilies of the valleys growing here. I've flushed out this area more with a little sitting area. I did not want to get rid of the koi fish, and I literally just sat it on that table and just never got around to picking it back up. I think I'll just let it sit right there for the time being. I really like how those weeds look. Normally I'm kind of a weed fanatic and I'm picking weeds, but when I saw those spring weeds on a Mystery Island tour, I said, you know, I'm gonna see if I can get some of those. Another addition to the island in the spring was Lopez. Lopez is a smug villager that I ran across on a villager hunt. He reminds me a lot of Kyle, and Kyle's on my other island. And I figured, okay, it'd be nice to have a villager on my southern hemisphere that reminds me of Kyle. So there's Lopez. Hi, Lopez. I'm just kind of roaming around. Still have some areas on my beach that I haven't done a whole lot with. There's Sherb again. Not Sherb, Chev. Chev like the cheese. I actually like goat cheese. It's not that bad. I tried it a while back. Alright, so we're gonna head back. This is my little cafe area. As soon as I get like a coffee maker, an espresso machine, I'm gonna flush that out into more of a little coffee spot. I learned a trick on how to get a coconut tree to grow. If you don't know, I basically took a square of sand with the island designer and just put a quick single square of sand down, sand path. And I planted the coconut tree there. I didn't think it was going to grow, so I was pleasantly surprised to see it grow. So now we're back with Luna. We're going to wake up and wrap up our video with dreams of serenity in the winter and in the spring. I think how you look when you're waking up is just absolutely hilarious. So here we are, back in the dream suite, back on the northern hemisphere island, back on Riverdale. I've got some great ideas for some future videos, so those are going to be fun to do. I've got some villager birthdays coming up. Oh, there's KK. There's Margie in the background. Whoa. Now this is my little snack area. As soon as I get some more games to put here, I've got a pinball machine. I'm going to put maybe some other games right here. I've got my gumball machine, popcorn, snacks, drinks. So this is going to be kind of my snack area here. And I've got a place to relax behind resident services near the river. I moved my snacks from back here because my little vending machine area was back here. But once I had all three pieces to another T-Rex, I had to put that behind the museum. It just made sense to do that. But I'm going to wrap things up. I've got villager birthdays coming up, so I'll do some filming of those. And I'll thank you guys for watching. Have fun playing. Bye.